Oh, get me out of here. Don't have me as a fair weather biker, will you? Ah! Let's go on a dog walk and talk about the Harley FatBob. Here she is. Hey Roxy. Oh, where's she gone? Stay still. I bought the FatBob just before Christmas, and the whole purpose was to buy a motorbike that I'd always been pining after, i.e. a Harley Davidson. Rightly or wrongly, that divides opinion, but I've been around the block a bit. Japanese bikes, British bikes, lots of German bikes. Why did I get it? Well, I've always wanted one. I've ridden them, I test rode a few. Don't knock these things. If you sit there, you're one of the Harley haters who sit there and say, nah, they look ridiculous, or they look stupid, or they're not for me. If you've ridden one and you've come up with that opinion, no problem, you're entitled to it. If you've not ridden one and you're just joining the other sheep going, meh, I don't want a Harley, because my friends say they're crap. Well, get a set of kahunas and go and ride one yourself and make your own mind up rather than relying on your friends. Because actually, once you've ridden them, you kind of get it. Now, when I first rode the Harleys, I went out to Bridgewater in Somerset, Riders Harley Davidson at Bridgewater, and I rode a Softail Heritage, a 48, lovely bike, but my god, my arse and my back didn't like me for it. The Dyna FatBob, and I kind of fell in love with the Dyna FatBob. So when the new one came out in 2018, the Softail version, very keen to ride it. Harley Davidson merchandise. I bought a shirt, a riding shirt with Harley Davidson on the back. I bought some thermals with Harley Davidson on. I've got a baseball cap with Harley Davidson on. I'm suckered right into the Harley Davidson market employ, the way of life, and I love it. I've probably done a couple thousand miles on it now since I had it. The rain has not been good, the weather's not been good, and I don't classify myself as a fair weather rider, and I think that would be obvious. I like to go out in all weathers, sometimes unplanned. There's no such thing as bad weather, there's only the wrong clothes. Within moments, any wet surface, my legs are soaked from the knees down, absolutely drenched. Another negative, let me talk about the negatives first. I'm always searching for buttons. I appreciate there's an element of time needed for me to get used to actually which button does what, and where those buttons are, but they're in the wrong place. I'm trying to hit the start button, I'm hitting hazard lights. I'm trying to hit the horn and I'm hitting the indicator. They've just got a row of buttons and they've just plonked them on without really giving them any great thought about what's going where. So Harley Davidson, you could invest a little bit in your R&D department. Petty, I know, but that's the sort of shit we look at when we buy a bike. The speedometer on it is atrocious. It's difficult to read, not because I can't read it, it's because the second I start riding the damn thing, it mists up. Condensation on the inside of the glass mists up and you can barely read it. There is apparently a small fix for that I've read about, and I'm going to try that at some point, and I'll put that on the YouTubes and let you know if it works. So we've got the clocks, we've got the controls on the handlebars, but by far my biggest gripe with this motorcycle is the stock tyres. They are atrocious. I'm going to stop short of calling them dangerous, but they gave me no confidence whatsoever, and even less in the wet. Dunlop, what have you done? So I have replaced the tyres after much Google searching, Googleizing, and speaking to people firsthand, I've changed them for Avon Cobra Chromes. What an instant difference. I thought people were joking. They said to me, as soon as you get them, it's like a new bike. They're right. That bike is so much more agile, manoeuvrable, confident. Genuinely, I've ridden a few bikes in my time, and I've ridden them in certain locations and speeds and whatever to know what dodgy tyres are like. Instantly better. Fantastic tyre. Now, whether that's a chuck up for Avon, I think more is probably a thumbs down for the Dunlops that are on there. They're atrocious. Change them please. Let's talk about the good things about the bike. The riding position itself, people have moaned about the seat. It's not actually that bad. I'm 5'8" and 3/4. That 3/4 is important. The ergonomics of the bike, they fit me perfectly. very happy with the way the bike is, very happy with the way I sit on the bike, and comfortable, hell yeah. And I've ridden bikes for enough mileage and enough miles to know what an uncomfortable bike is like and how a comfortable bike should be. This one's comfortable. What I really look forward to is in a few weeks' time, we'll be taking it to Europe. And then I'm going to do another feature on setting it up for touring, because it is not a touring bike. But I also think any bike can be a touring bike if you just apply a bit of common sense. So we're going to set the FatBob up for a little whiz to Switzerland. Because we're going to Switzerland, I've had to change the exhaust back from a Vance and Hines back to the standard, less noisy, European approved end cans, so the Swiss police don't throw me in prison. More positives. It's the way you feel when you ride it. It's absolutely brilliant. Really good. It's got great presence. That front headlight's amazing. There's nothing really physically about the bike I don't like. Quite happy with every aspect of it. Miles per gallon on the tank, I don't know, we'll work that out, we'll give that to you as well. The handling of the bike, I've heard some reviewers ride it and say that it doesn't handle very well. It does. It's really nimble. You've got 1868 cc's. It's not a small bike. You've got a ton of grunt, 6 speeds, 6-speed gearbox, ton of grunt, and my god, it goes really well. It handles really well. It's comfortable. The brakes aren't as good as the Beamer. You've got to think a little bit more before you hit the brakes. Because for the most part, it's absolutely stunning. It's quick, it handles, it stops. It's quite economical. But as I've pointed out, there's a few things that they really need to sort out with the bike. And they're easy fixes. Harley Davidson, sort your shit out. So there we go. FatBob 114. Nice thing.